Hi there. I want to talk about a proverb, and uh, specifically, I want to talk about Proverb 18:1, and it reads like this: "Whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment." So, you think about what this world has been like over the past almost 3 years or however long it's been, right? Over 2 years. Um, Obviously, a lot of people have experienced isolation, and to a certain degree, people are still experiencing isolation. I think that this proverb sheds light on those who choose, not necessarily as a result of a pandemic, but a more in but it does apply to that as well eventually. Like, I think that's why society is slowly coming out of whatever has been going on, that sort of thing. But it does speak of somebody who, uh, you know, chooses to live a life of isolation. If you think like in the some religions like Christianity, how there's monasteries, and I don't think it's necessarily referring to a monastery per se. Because when you're in a monastery, even though you're living in a secluded life, you're participating in a communal life as well too. So what I think Proverbs 18:1 is saying, and I'll read it again: whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. I think it's talking about somebody who chooses to not be a part of society. Um, there are times in our lives where we can uh, without compromising our beliefs in certain things, we can actively participate in the life around us. And I think, that this proverb can also apply to how, if we're living with other people in our homes. I think, sometimes when there's tension or strife, or even conflict in a home or society, we want to find places of retreat, places where we can feel safe again. I don't think that's what it means by isolating yourself. I think it's meaning more like it says here: whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. I think it's a choice. So in a sense, when we choose to separate ourselves from everybody else, and it's so easy, right? Living in the digital age these days, that we can just kind of like cut ourselves off from the rest of society and just connect via the internet. But also, the internet can be used to connect with other people. So I think if you've you know kind of been put in a situation in your life where you don't really have much contact with the outside world per se, just because of you know being somebody who uh, is maybe more traditional and doesn't have access to the internet and chooses to live their life in a certain way that you know not by their choice but by circumstances, is kind of forced to live more in isolation. It's helpful to find ways to reconnect with people in your day to day life as best as you know how, right? And I think as we get older, the elderly fall into this category as well too, because maybe some people have retired and they're no longer working anymore, and they feel maybe not as connected to family. Family members are getting older, um, and things are changing in their lives. So I think, in that sense, it's not wise. If you're older, to isolate yourself. Always there's always a phone, a telephone, to pick up the phone and to call somebody and to ask them how they're doing. So um, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So I'll read it again. It's Proverbs 18:1. It says, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. And then the next part of that verse says, he breaks out against all sound judgment, right? Um, a result of isolating ourselves or cutting ourselves off from other people, according to Proverbs 18:1, says it breaks out against all sound judgment, right? Because we want to be connected to other people as best as we know how. Anyways, I hope that sheds some light on Proverbs 18:1. Thanks for listening. Bye.